माया कल्पित देश काल कलना वैचित्र्य चित्रीकृतम् मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महा योगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये यस्यैव स्फुरणं सदात्मकमसत् कल्पार्थकं भासते साक्षात् तत्त्वमसीति वेदवचसा यो बोधयत्याश्रितान् यत् साक्षात्करणात् भवेन्न पुनरा वृत्तिर्भवाम्भोनिधौ तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये नानाच्छिद्रघटोदरस्थितमहा दीपप्रभाभास्वरम् ज्ञानं यस्य तु चक्षुरादिकरणा द्वारा बहिः स्पन्दते जानामीति तमेव भान्तमनुभाति एतत् समस्तं जगत् तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये देहं प्राणमपीन्द्रियाणपि चलां बुद्धिं च शून्यं विदुः स्त्रीबालान्धजडोपमास्त्वहमिति भ्रान्ता भृशन्वादिनः मायाशक्तिविलासकल्पितमहा व्यामोहसंहारिणे तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये राहुग्रस्तदिवाकरेन्दुसदृशो मायासमाच्छादनात् सन्मात्रः करणोपसंहरणतो यो भूत्सुषुप्तः पुमान् प्रागस्वाप्समीति प्रबोधसमये यप्रज्ञभिज्ञायते तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये बाल्यादिष्वपि जाग्रदादिषु तथा सर्वास्वस्थास्वपि व्यावृत्तास्वनुवर्तमानमहमेत्यन्तः स्फुरन्तं सदा स्वात्मानं प्रकटीकरोति भजतां यो मुद्रया भद्रया तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये विश्वं पश्यति कार्यकारणतया स्वस्वामि सम्बन्धतः शिष्याचार्यतया तथैव पितृ पुत्राद्यात्मना भेदतः स्वप्ने जागृति वाय एष पुरुषो माया परिभ्रामितः तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये भूरम्भांस्यनलो नीलोऽम्बरमहर् नाथो हिमांशुः पुमान् इत्याभाति चराचरात्मकमिदं यस्यैव मूर्त्यष्टकम् नान्यत् किञ्चन विद्यते विमृशताम् यस्मात् परस्माद्विभोः तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये सर्वात्मत्वमिति स्फुटीकृतमिदं यस्मादमुष्मिंस्तवे तेनास्य श्रवणात् तदर्थमननात् ध्यानाच्च संकीर्तनात् सर्वात्मत्वमहाविभूतिसहितं स्यादीश्वरत्वं स्वतः सिद्धेतत् पुनरष्टधा परिणतं च ऐश्वर्यमव्याहतम् तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये हरि ओम।
Mahadev, 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 Mahadev. Hopefully things are okay. Can you hear me well?
Mahadev Swamiji, yes, Swamiji.
All right, let's begin. Mahadev. Om Yo Brahmanam Vidadhati Purvam Yo Vai Vedanscha Prahinoti Tasmai Tam Hadevamatma Buddhi Prakasham Mumukshurvai Sharanamaham Prapadye. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartribhyo Vamshirishibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyaha सर्वोपप्लवरहितः प्रज्ञानघनः प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि वेदान्तार्थविभासकाय गुरवे शान्ताय सन्न्यासिने नानावादीनगेन्द्रसङ्घपवये योगीन्द्रवन्द्याय च मोहध्वान्तदिवाकराय भगवत्पादाभिधां बिभ्रते तस्मै भाष्यकृते नमोऽस्तु सततम् पूर्णाय बोधात्मने। ब्रह्माहं यत्प्रसादेन मयि विश्वं प्रकल्पितम् श्रीमत्स्वयं प्रकाशाख्यम् प्रणौमि जगतां गुरुम् यः परमात्मा जगत् सृष्ट्वा प्रविवेश पुनः स्वयं तं कृष्णं प्रत्यगात्मानं वन्दे गोपीमनोहरम् यस्य प्रसादादहमद्वयात्मा विश्वं समस्तं मयि कल्पितं च तं सर्वलोकैकगुरुं सदाश्री स्वयं प्रकाशं गुरुमानतोऽस्मि गुरूणां चरणां भोजं प्रणिपत्य निरन्तरं तत्कृपालेशतोऽद्वैत चिन्ताकौस्तुभमारभे ओम्. Okay. So now, in the section where the Vaisheshika claim of Paramanu being the Jagat Karanam and Akasha, etc., as Nitya Padarthas, things which are timeless, indestructible, all these ideas are refuted. And in the final argument that the author has presented over here, in showing that the Shruti remains intact, in the sense the meaning, the knowledge that is generated by the words of the Shruti. Ato anyadartham, in this vakya, in this particular statement, some knowledge is generated. That knowledge is not challenged, refuted, or falsified by any other means. Even the Shabda Pramana, so it is not falsified by the Pratyaksha Pramana, it is not falsified by the Anumana Pramana, meaning by the inference, it is not falsified by the Upamana Pramana, and then also now he employs that even through the Shabda Pramana, Agama Pramana, the meaning of the Shruti cannot be altered. It cannot be altered, it is not falsified, and therefore that knowledge which is generated by the Shruti, ato anyadartham, remains intact. All right? And by the virtue of it remaining intact, the claim that Akasha, etc., Akasha, now hopefully you people get the idea, Akasha meaning the space, etc., is not nityam, is not timelessly real, indestructible. That means there is somewhere where the absence of Akasha, space, etc., is seen. Okay, that's why its nityatva is challenged. So final sentence in that particular paragraph on page number 68, na api agama virodha. So the Shruti herself, which Shruti? Ato Anyadartham. This Shruti is not opposed by any other Agama, in the sense by any other Shruti. And by the word Agama, even if somebody like a Nayayika or the Sankhya is not going to just keep Shruti in the category of Shabda Pramana, they may say people, whatever has been said by people like Gautama and Kanad and Kapila also is Shabda Pramana for us. So over there, that also is not there because Shrutis tu anityatvam eva bodhayati, because the Shruti stands as the final Shabda Pramana. And Shruti shows that Akasha, etc., is anityam. Okay. Ato anyadartham, meaning everything else other than Brahman is anityam. That is the meaning. So the knowledge now, having heard that sentence, the knowledge which is generated in your mind is everything other than Brahman is anityam. Ato anyadartham. Everything else will include Akasha, Kala, everything. And therefore, Brahman alone is Nityam, is the final understanding, knowledge which is generated. Therefore, those who are attempting to say that God is as real as this world, they are refuting themselves. They are refuting themselves. They are in a mode of self-cancellation. If you are going to say God is as real as this world, then here is the Shruti which says that this world itself is not real and is anityam. Then, by the virtue of the argument that you have presented, the world itself is not real, the world itself is anityam. And if your God also has an equal status of reality as this world, then naturally what are you saying? God is also equally not real. What you wanted to prove, God is real. And what have you finally ended up proving? So you see, those who are into that kind of an argument, God is as real as this world, we feel God. They do not know that they are doing the job of self-cancellation. That is the reason why we require a proper Guru Parampara. One needs to come from the tradition of this teaching. Otherwise, in an haste with all your goodness, you will land in self-cancellation. Got it? Shrutis anityatvam eva bodhayati. We have reached up to this. Now, further down. न च विनाशकारण अनिरूपणात् न च विनाशकारणानिरूपणात् कथं तद् उपपद्यते इति वाच्यम. Now that bring that na close to Vachyam. And how the sentence will be structured, restructured. Vinasha karana nirupanat katham tad upapadyate iti na Vachyam. So the Purva Paksha, the opponent, says, you show us a Shruti which directly says that Akasha is Anityam. Though Ato Anyad Artam, this particular Shruti says everything else, all other things are Anityam, Mithya. Yet, we have no Shruti which directly says Akasha, etc., is Anityam. So, Vinashakarana Anirupana, there is no Nirupanam. There is no explanation provided by the Shruti, or direct words are not available of the Shruti, which talk about the Anityatva of the Akasha. If this is the case, then how do you insist on saying that all the prapancha, including Akasha, etc., is Artam, Anityam, Mithya? How do you say that? So to that, the teacher says, Itina Vachyam. Don't raise this argument. Why? Because Upadana Karana Nashadeva Tannashopapattehe. Because when the material cause of anything is destroyed, then even the effect naturally is destroyed. Upadana karana nashadeva tannashopapattehe. It is justified. How? Look at it. So now we have a cloth. If I destroy the cotton or cotton, will the shirt be there? No. So in destruction of the upadana karana, in destruction of the material, even the effect is destroyed. Clear? So what is the upadana karanam of the shirt? Cotton. And if this cotton is destroyed, naturally the shirt also will be destroyed. Why? Because cotton is the upadana karanam. Cotton is the material cause of this shirt. So wherever now we are able to understand a principle that wherever the material cause is destroyed, then the effect also is destroyed. You don't even have to say it separately that the shirt is destroyed. In saying that the cotton is destroyed, the shirt is also destroyed. So destruction of the shirt is taken for granted when you have said that the upadana karanam, the material cause, is destroyed. You don't have to say it separately. Correct? So thus, upadana karana nashadeva tannashopapattehe. So now here we go. Kim tad upadanam iti? What is the upadanam? What is the material cause of akasha, etc.? So here we say, Parinami upadanam ajnanam vivartopadanam brahma. Very interesting topic, okay? Though he has just put it up in one or two sentences over here, but this is a very interesting topic. Parinam, we will go through this exercise in detail in the following pages, but presently, as much as it is required, we will see. Parinami upadana karanam ajnanam. Now, that material cause which undergoes a transformation to become the effect is called as parinami upadana. Okay. So parinama means the transformation, the modification. Parinami upa, like the milk undergoes a transformation to become the yogurt. So it is the parinam, it is the alteration, it is a transformation of the material cause. Such material cause of this entire prapancha, of this entire world, is ajnanam. What is it? Is ajnanam. But can you say that the ajnanam, that the ignorance has an independent existence? No. The ignorance requires the substratum of consciousness. And therefore, the consciousness, we are going to say, vivarta upadana karanam is Brahman. Before we go into this, understand one example. Then when we are able to draw the principles to be applied in our discussion, then the discussion will become more easy. So, in case of the snake and the rope, we all agree that the cause of that snake is ignorance. True? You could not have had seen the snake without the ignorance. So also, if the rope was not to be there, would you see the snake? No. And therefore, the rope is also inevitable, indisposable, and so that what is inevitable, indisposable is called as the cause. So we understand that even rope also will have to be included as the cause of the snake. Correct? Because without which the effect cannot be there is called as the cause. Without which the effect cannot be there is called as the cause. Without the rope, the snake would not have it been there. And therefore, we have to include the rope also in the category of cause. Correct? Without the ignorance, the snake could not be there. And therefore, even ignorance also has to be included as the cause. Then, what is the difference between the rope becoming the cause of the snake and the ignorance becoming the cause of the snake? What is the difference? The difference is that the rope has not undergone any change. Rope remains rope, but ignorance transforms into the snake. Correct? How is your experience of that snake? You enter the room and then you see something. And the first experience is, I don't know what it is. Admitted there is ignorance. I don't know what it is. Not knowing what it is ignorance. So now you have the experience. You admit there is ignorance. And then when you squint the eyes and all, oh my God, is it snake? This is snake. Not knowing it is a rope is ignorance, and this ignorance itself now has transformed and has presented itself as the snake. The rope is also there. Without the rope, even that experience also cannot be had. So rope is also the cause, and ignorance is also the cause of that snake. But the difference is, the ignorance is also the material cause. Snake is also the material cause. But the ignorance is a material cause which undergoes a change, modification, transformation. The rope hasn't undergone any transformation. Correct? The rope hasn't undergone any transformation. So we have a technical word over here to talk about both these things. We are going to say ignorance is parinami upadana karanam. It is the material cause which undergoes modification and becomes the snake. The rope also becomes the snake without undergoing any transformation. So where the transformation has not happened and yet the effect is created, that is called as vivarti upadana karanam or vivarta upadana karanam. It is only an appearance. It is only an appearance. The rope appears as snake. The rope has not undergone any change. The rope has not become the snake or given birth to the snake. No, nothing. It is only vivarta upadana karanam. Now, if you have understood both the words, now let us come back to our discussion. We are going to say that of this entire world, which includes time, space, etc., everything, the Panchamahabhutas, what is there? The ignorance is the parinami upadana karanam. It is an upadana karanam, it is the material cause, but it is a material cause which undergoes the modification. And therefore, ignorance is the parinami upadana karanam. Whereas Brahman is vivarta upadana karanam. Okay. Brahman is a vivarta upadana karanam. So now we have retained the status of Brahman as Jagat Karanam. But how has it become the Jagat Karanam? By being the Vivarta Upadanam. By being the Vivarta Upadanam. By being that material cause which appears to have become the effect. Which appears to have become the effect. Okay, now up to here. Parinami upadanam ajnanam vivartopadanam brahma. Tatra brahmanaha nityatvepi jnanena ajnana nivritya tannivritti rupa upapadyate. Now, through the knowledge, ignorance will be destroyed. What is ignorance? Upadana karanam. What kind of upadana karanam? Parinami upadana karanam. So now, ignorance, which is the cause of the akasha, vayu, etc., the prapancha, is destroyed by knowledge. So when the ignorance, which is the cause, that is destroyed, then the effect will also be destroyed. That goes without saying. And therefore, akasha, etc., is destructible and therefore not nityam. Okay. Therefore, we are saying akasha, etc., is not nityam. Even if we are not going to find a shruti which says akasha is anityam, words like this, yet when the shruti says it is the ignorance which gets destroyed, then we get to know that ignorance, which is the cause, is destroyed, then naturally the effect is also destroyed. We don't require another sentence to say that. If somebody says there was a fire which broke in the godown, in a warehouse, all the cotton was destroyed, then somebody says, the shirt is also destroyed. Is the shirt also destroyed? When we are said all the cotton is destroyed, but you only said cotton is destroyed, where did you say shirt is destroyed? So that it leaves no scope even for such a question, because cotton is the cause of shirt. Gone. Correct? So we don't require Shruti to say Akasha is Anityam. When the Shruti says ignorance is destroyed by knowledge, now by that virtue we understand even the effect, meaning Akasha, Vayu, etc., everything is destroyed. The prapancha is destroyed over here. And therefore, tatra brahmanaha nityatvepi, Brahman remains nitya, jnanena jnana nivritya, but ignorance is destroyed, and therefore tannivrittihi upapadyate. Tannivritti means akashasya nivrittihi upapadyate. Thus, it is justified in saying space, etc., is also destroyed, and that what is destructible is not nityam. Okay? Iti arthashrutehe manantar avirodhat upacharitarthatva bhavena akashadinam anityatvam. Therefore, now this arthashruti, ato anyadartham, artham means, don't employ that Marathi meaning. Artha means something that is, intense in Marathi. Artham over here means anityam. Okay, the Vedic meaning of that word, because in colloquial language, when the words are employed, people often distort its original meaning, and it can be even employed in a different sense. Okay, Is not it? Colloquially, artham, because Marathi people have the meaning arth means something that is intense. Arth. No, it is not that way. It simply means artham means anityam over here. Ato anyadartham. Okay, further. Ataha arthashrutehe manantara avirodhat. So what have we seen through this entire exercise of last 2-3 days is the arthashruti is not opposed, falsified, or challenged, refuted by any other praman. So manantara avirodha is there, and therefore akashadinam anityatvam. So the claim of the Vaisheshika that akasha is nityam has got no standing. Therefore, even when the Vaisheshika says that the Paramanu is Jagat Karanam, etc., it is all refuted. And therefore, what do you finally have? Brahma eva Jagat Karanam. Okay? Finally, what do we have? Which is there? Brahma eva Jagat Karanam. Further, etena akashadinam samavayi karana asamavayi karana nirupanad anaditvam anaditvam ityapastam. So also, even when these people are saying that akasha etc. is beginningless, is also refuted. Okay. Samavaya asidhya samavayi karana paribhashayaha apramanikatvat kutastha is refuted. That this is another topic of the Nayayikas which belongs to that particular system. I'm not going to go into the details of it. Whatever we have done so far is good enough. Okay. Kutastarhi karyotpattihi iti chet. How then do you say kutastarhi karyotpattihi? Then how is the effect? How does the effect comes into existence? Now the effect meaning this world of all the 5 bhutas. Kutastarhi karyotpattihi iti chet. Then we say it is through the upadana karanam and nimitta karanam. It is through the material cause and the efficient cause. We don't require any other form of explanation about the causality, because they say samavayi karanam, etc. That kind of a thing of the Vaisheshikas, Nayayikas is not required. 69 further. Etena Paramanunamapi utpatti vinashakarana anirupanad anaditvam iti apastam. So also now, by that very virtue, that nowhere, though it is nowhere it is said that the Paramanus are Paramanus come into existence and the Paramanus are destroyed, can we, since the Shruti is not talking about its creation and its destruction of the Paramanus, that means the Paramanu is also Nitya? Says no, it is not. Why? Because Sukshma Bhutatirikta Paramanu Sambhave Mana Bhavad. Because there is anything like Paramanu other than the five great elements is not discussed by the Shruti because it is not there. Okay? Because it is not there. Sukshma bhutatirikta paramanu sambhave mana bhava, because there is no man pramana for it. Nacha anumana tat siddhihi iti vachyam. So, but then he says, let the Shruti not talk about existence of Paramanus. We will prove existence of the Paramanu through, now you understand what is Paramanu, right? Hopefully you remember that we will establish the existence of the Paramanu through inference. The teacher says, na iti navacham. Ha anumana tat siddhi. Tat siddhi means Paramanu nam siddhi. Iti navacham. Tataiva Paramanunam Savayavatva Prasangat. Huh? If you are going to say that the Paramanus are created, Paramanus are destroyed, then you will go against your own principle. That you are saying Paramanu being the last particle, Paramanu being the last particle, last element, it is Niravayava. And if you are going to say it is created and destroyed, that means the creation and destruction, both of it means that it is composed of parts. And what have you said? It is not composed of parts. And therefore, Savayavatva Prasangat. Nacha avastha anavasthabhiya tat siddhihi iti vachyam. Paramakarane vishranti sambhavena anavastha pariharat. Okay. Now, ठीक है. Now let us, this is good enough to give you an idea. Had we to be some people who already knew the Vaisheshika school, then its refutation in such details would have been more fruitful. But it is refuted, that much is good enough for you to know. Maybe in due course of time, if we ever, God gives us an opportunity, and if I'm able to explain the other schools, including the schools of Buddhism, Jainism, etc., then we will see those schools also their refutation elsewhere. But presently, this much is enough. So we go to the next paragraph. Apicha yena shrutam ha. Okay. Okay. In that paragraph, the last line. Tasmat Brahma bhinnam sarvam utpadyate viliyate cha iti shlishtatam. Therefore, everything else other than Brahman is created and also is destroyed, which means everything other than Brahman comes into existence and goes out of existence. That is there. And hence, what does it mean? That everything else other than Brahman is anityam. So that Shruti ato anyadartham goes to just based one vakyam. There is only one sentence like this. And through this, the entire system of Vaisheshika, Nayayika, their logical, the school of logic collapses. This is how the Shruti is. Ato anyadartham iti. So, astu tarhi pradhanat mahadadi kramena prapanchotpattihi iti chet no. Well, if you do not want to accept the explanation provided by the Vaisheshika system about Jagat Karanam, it is fine. But the Sankhyas have presented still something different. And the Sankhya says, what is Jagat Karanam? Prakriti. What is Jagat Karanam? According to them, Prakriti is Jagat Karanam. And the Upanishad Siddhanta is Brahma eva Jagat Karanam. How does Brahman become the Jagat Karanam? It is through the conditioning of ignorance. Okay? So ignorance then becomes the Maya, etc. That is okay. Apicha, astu tarhi, then let the pradhana. So this Sankhya has got a technical word for Prakriti, and that is pradhan. Astu tarhi pradhanan mahadadi kramena prapanchotpattihi. So they have shown sequentially from Prakriti the Mahat Tattva. We will see what the Mahat Tattva from Mahad, the Ahankara, etc. There is a sequence. Okay. And through this sequence, it is a sequential arrangement to show the creation of the world. Now, that creation is not that God one day sat and created, it simply means coming into existence. But through what? It is through the principle called as Prakriti. Okay. Prapanchotpatti iti chet. So, if that is the case, that means Brahman is not the cause. If that is not what Brahman is, then what will it mean? That you do not have any meaning for the word Tat. If you do not have any meaning, Jagat Karanam as the meaning, immediate meaning of the word Tat, then the sentence Tattvamasi becomes meaningless. Got it? And so, Pradhanan Mahadadi Kramena Prapanchotpattihi iti chet na. Why, sir? Because Pradhanasya Pramanikattvena Jagat Upadanatva Ayogan. Because the idea of Pradhan, of Prakriti itself is what? Is Ayogan, is not justified, cannot be employed. Okay? Is not justified. But sir, why are you saying that the Sankhya which presents Prakriti as the cause of the world is not acceptable? Because But you tell us, why are you calling it acceptable, or why are you insisting that it should be accepted? So he says it should be accepted because it has been said by Kapila, who is the father of that system, by Kapila Muni. It has been said by Kapila that Prakriti is the cause. So there is a Smriti. There was, now it is not available. Okay, Sankhya Karika is there, but Sankhya Sutras, etc., are no longer available. Nanu Smriti Siddhatvad, because it has been said by the by this Kapila Muni, it is Prakriti can be understood as the cause of the world. So he says, Nanu Smriti Siddhatvat Katham Apramanikatvam iti chet. You said that it is apramanikam, there is no means of knowledge which shows Prakriti is the cause. So he says that yes, we have a Smriti and therefore we have Shabda Pramanam to prove Prakriti is the cause. Shruti Virodhe Smritehe Apramanikatvat. If any Smriti, a book which is authored by a person, is Smriti. So any Smriti is standing in contradiction to the Shruti, to the Upanishad, then that Smriti will lose its status as Praman. Will lose its status as Praman. And therefore it is not Pramanikam, Apramanikatvat. Apramanikatvat means because it is dishonest. No, this is not the idea. Pramana means the meaning of the word pramana is the means of knowledge. Apramanikam means something that has been understood, something that is understood without any proper means of knowledge. And that's why it is not knowledge. It can be someone's idea. It can be someone's idiosyncrasy. It can be somebody's fantasy, but it can be an error. But it is definitely not knowledge. And therefore, smritehe apramanikatva. The smriti will become apramanika. But when will the smriti become apramanikam? When it is opposed to Shruti. Tasmad Mayopahitad Brahmanaha Akashadikramena Prapanchotpattihi iti sarvaihi abhyupagantavyam. And therefore, from how has this world come into existence? From Brahman, with her, from consciousness which is conditioned by Maya. Okay, Tasman Mayopahitat Brahmanaha Akashadikramena Prapanchotpattihi Sarvaihi Abhyupagantavyam. It should be accepted by all. Sarvaihi Abhyupagantavyam. So now, so far, what have we done? The meaning of the word tat. Which meaning? The immediate meaning of the word tat. Vachyartha. Immediate meaning means the meaning which comes immediately after the word is spoken. So when we say Ishvaraha or we say Brahma, tat, it means what? Jagat Karanam. How is this Brahman Jagat Karanam? Through the conditioning of Maya. What is this Maya? It is the Shuddha Sattva. which belongs to the Ajnanam. Got it? So we have, you see what how much rigmarole, what an exercise that one has done just to arrive at that meaning of the word. And this is nothing. This is, you're just scratching the tip of the iceberg. Okay? Tasmad brabha. तस्मात् ब्रह्मणः एव आकाशादिक्रमेण जगदुत्पद्यते इति अनवद्यम्. And therefore we have said that it is from Brahman the world has come into existence in the sequence of space, wind, fire, water, and Prithvi, the earth element. That is how everything has come into existence. Okay. Jagad utpadyate iti anavadyam. This stands unrefuted. Okay. Now up to this point we have reached. Now from these great elements, up to this point, the great elements have come from Brahman, we have understood. But how has this world of variegated names and forms come into existence? Now that will be told to us in our further discussion. Okay, up to this point we have seen. And so we will go further into the Sukshma Prapancha, etc. in our following classes. But a very important principle for all of us to understand is the way we have seen how the Pramanyam is retained. Whose Pramanyam? Shruti Pramanyam is retained. Okay? Without succumbing to whether it is Gautama, Kanada, or even somebody like Kapila. Got it? Therefore, there is no need to be afraid of anyone. Oh, but then they are all big people. Big or small is not the question. What they are saying is right or wrong is the issue. That's it. Okay? So stand tall and stand confident. We will go to the Sukshma Bhutotpatti, Prapanchotpatti in our next class. Om Brahmaham Yat Prasadena Mai Vishwam Prakalpitam Shrimad Swayam Prakashakhyam Pranavmi Jagatan Guru. Yah Paramatma Jagat Srishtva Pravivesha Punasvayam Tan Krishnam Pratyagatmanam Vande Gopi Manoharam Yasya Prasadadahamadvayatma Vishwam Samhastam Mayi Kalpitancha Tan Sarvalokaika Gurum Sadashri Swayam Prakasham Gurumanatosmi Gurunam Charanam Bhojam Pranipatya Nirantaram Tatkripa Leshatodvaita Chinta Kaustubhamarabhe.